What would you like to know? I don't know. Anything? Why are they called English? You know, okay. From what I have read, there's actually a museum of talkingboard.org, which literally, the talking board is one of the main names for it, that kind of first invented. Ouija, as it's spelled now, I don't think it's good for anything. I think it was named after the guy who created it. So, actually, you know what? I have a computer. I could just look at that.
Or if you want, you can use my computer.
Don't do that. Here. Allow me to
open another tab, yeah.
Excuse. I can't see. Tab. All right.
And then type.
There we are. Okay, guys. This website has got a plethora of info. And as you see, the planchette is the mouse thing. History, which is very long, by the way. I need to find it. Up. Okay, hey, doop-de-doo. Doop-de-doo. You know, I don't know if you guys have heard of the spiritualism movement, where everybody wanted to contact the dead, the other side. That's actually what this book is mainly about. Since everybody wanted communication, people started designing things to communicate with the dead. And let's see, here we go. There's so much information I can't even. Okay, vampires. That's a completely different area of things. Okay, this is a form of spirit writing using a small basket with a pencil attached to one end. This was the original planchette, actually. The medium simply had to touch the basket to establish contact, and then the spirit would take over, writing the message from the great beyond. This pencil basket evolved into the heart-shaped planchette, a more sophisticated tool with two rotating casters underneath and a pencil at the tip, forming a third leg. According to some writers, the inventor of the planchette was a French medium named M. Planchette. Well, that's specific, isn't it? As for the Ouija board itself, there's too much information in here. Yeah, as I said, this is a really long. Okay, here we go. Charles Kennard. Kennard, whatever, stated that he named the new board Ouija, pronounced Ouija, after a session with Miss Peters, Elijah Bond's sister-in-law. I remarked that we had not yet settled upon a name, and as the board had helped in other ways, we would ask it to propose one. It spelled out O-U-I-J-A. When I asked the meaning of the word, it said, good luck. Miss Peters was thereupon drew upon her neck a chain which had at the end a locket on a figure of a woman, and at the top the word Ouija. We asked if she had thought of the name, and she said she had not. We then adopted the word. There were present Mr. Bond, his wife, his son, Miss Peters, and myself. And after that, it just got trademarked as Ouija, or, you know, spirit boards, talking boards. There's a million different nicknames for them. Okay.
There you go, that's why it's called Ouija board.
Ouija! Oh, close curtain. Huh? No, I haven't yet. And then one more thing, my main role in OPR is the case manager, and basically what that means is I get to touch base with the clients on a personal basis do phone interviews, and I also get to do this fun piece of
The paperwork.
it's a questionnaire. Literally, when we're doing we have them sign all sorts of release forms, assumption of risk and such. And then we ask about a bajillion questions, which include things like, describe the paranormal experience, how far was it away from the person who experienced the sighting, what was the person doing when it happened? Did the apparition cast a shadow? And all of these questions that we have here help us determine, how best to proceed with the investigation. And what to do.
Yes?
I'm curious.
Well, I think the best way to answer that is because spirits are best known to manifest themselves in the dark, simply because perhaps they feel better at home with nobody else there in the dark, and it helps them feel, there are many, many different theories on that.
Also, there are the practical reasons. It cuts down on glare from lights, things like that, which could interfere with the camera. You take a picture, and it cuts down on the glare that the camera would experience, things like that. So there's both practical and paranormal reasons for doing it.
Exactly.
And it doesn't mean that it will only happen at night.
Yeah. There have been several that have happened in full light during the day, Just because we usually turn off the lights when we do an investigation doesn't mean that that's the best way to do it. Other groups disagree. It's
really just a matter of perspective within the group, as well as, personal.
Yeah.
So, and in fact, I will keep photographs I'm not going to take them out for another time, but a few photographs where, there's nothing when the person took it in broad daylight, and then when you look at the photograph afterwards, there's something in there, a figure or whatnot, that should not be there.
Any other questions? Did we answer your question well enough? Okay. Any other questions? None?
I know.
Oh, yep.
Have you ever thought that you could
No, I have never felt that we've ever come across a demon in any of our investigations. On none of our investigations that we've done so far have I ever felt threatened by the spirits there.
And also, it should be known that there are regular spirits that are not necessarily considered demons that can be malevolent. They can be very dark, violent, bitter, whatever you want to call them, angry.
For instance, the Villiscax murder house that we're going to, people believe that the spirit of the murderer is still there. And that would be a violent spirit, but it's not a demon. So.
I also have another question. All those videos saying that they saw a ghost, do you actually believe some of those, or do you think they just...
Some of them I believe. Some of them...
It mostly depends on perspective, and then you apply some logic to it. Like, could this have been a reflection or a fake, an entire fake? There's so many different ways to fake a video, which is why we do debunking.
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's also one, the girl was looking in the mirror and then she turned the head, but... It says demon girl.
How do you have a question? Oh, yeah, those experiments, I don't know if you guys...
We've never tried them yet.
That's something that I did in Paranormal Midwest. Again, this was years ago. But, we didn't do it very often. We did it, I think, once in a case where a woman and her daughter were cooking in the kitchen and they had spilled a bunch of flour. They left to go and get cleaning supplies to clean it up, and there were a bunch of footprints in it that were definitely not